glasses on, with a funny face. Nosy, when people ask me what I do, I say I'm an illustrator. I'm actually able to say, oh, I do jams and marmalades, and I think, oh, okay. You know, if you say you're an illustrator, a lot of people think, oh, children's books, or so it's just helpful to have something like that. I do get a thrill going into the supermarkets and seeing things, and if I'm taking my children around, I say, oh, guess who did that? And they go, yeah, Mum, you did. My grandparents travelled over to Rwanda as missionary doctors in the early 30s. I was born in Kenya and then we moved to Uganda. So my early childhood running around barefoot. But it was lovely in a way that we didn't have a lot of things, or we had only a few books, so those few books were well loved. So when we came to England, we would visit relatives, and all I remember is kind of like these beautiful homes with beautiful old furniture, and I'd say there was a kind of part of me that I felt craved a sort of Edwardian England. So I think that's probably, you know, why I have this sort of fascination with the kind of Victorian engraving. I think maybe, I don't know. Trace paper. You can see when I draw on the tracing paper, it does just about, let's see, transfers through. So that's how I'll start, by drawing, yeah, the apple onto that. Then I get my blade, which is a little craft knife that my mum gave me for Christmas when I was a teenager. That's the very same knife, and I put a little bit like that because I get a little lump there if I work too long. So basically, yes, I'm always doing the white. So I will start with the white and leave the black. I've always loved Thomas Bewick, who's an 18th century wood engraver. The French engraver, Doré. And I just loved the style. It was so detailed, the fact that it was black and white. But I didn't have a printing press at home, or no access to a printing press, and I would need that to do wood engraving. So I discovered scraper board as a cheap, fast alternative, and it produced pretty much the same results. It's a sort of quality, isn't it? And well trusted, yeah. Classic. That's my favourite. That's fine. So yes, I did a whole load of those illustrations for Domino's Pizza. There we go, some pepperoni jumping a pot of tomato sauce. Pizza that's just had his eye taken out by someone with a catapult. I knew I always loved art. That was the homework that I would always do first and spend longest on. I knew that was my love, and that's what I had to do. But I didn't know quite where it would take me. I think there's a sort of feeling that you can't have a proper job if you draw, but you can. I can do it. And people ask me whether I, you know, with my African roots ever come through. I think no, no, not really. Because you'd have thought it'd be the sort of medium that you could do some nice, it would look like a woodcut and something, you know, if I did it sort of a bolder, more sort of African style. But I mean, I could still do that, but I haven't tended to. I don't know if people think very much about where the illustration comes from, but you know, I like to think that maybe they think it's been taken from a book of Victorian engravings and that it's not some someone out here and